United States spends $916 billion on its military every single year. China spends $125 billion. That's 4 times the difference. So does that mean the US has a 4 times stronger military? Not exactly, because China has the world's largest standing army, the world's largest navy by ship count. It has also deployed hypersonic missiles that the US does not yet possess. So which country actually has the more powerful military? We're going to break it down. Let's get into it. Let's start with money, because money buys weapons, technology, and soldiers die. In 2024, the United States spent $916 billion on defense. That is not a typo. $916 billion. That is more than the next 10 countries combined. China's official defense budget is around $125 billion. But here's the thing. Many military analysts and Western intelligence agencies believe China's actual spending is significantly higher, possibly 1.5 to 2 times the official figure, because a lot of military research, development, and infrastructure costs are hidden in other government budget lines. Still, even if China is spending $400 billion, the US is still outspending it by more than double. Round 1, USA wins on budget. Now let's talk about boots on the ground. China's People's Liberation Army has 2 million active duty soldiers. It is the largest standing army in the world. Add to that another 500,000 in the reserves, and nearly 60 million people available for paramilitary service. If China ever needed mass mobilization, the United States has 1.33 million active duty personnel. Smaller, but the US military is known for being technologically superior at the individual soldier level. Better training, better gear, better logistics. In terms of tanks, the US has approximately 5,500 main battle tanks. China has around 5,000 plus. That's actually quite close. But here's what matters in modern warfare. It's not just about how many soldiers you have. The US military has been fighting active wars for over 2 decades in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. That means their soldiers and commanders have real combat experience at the scale China simply cannot match today. Round 2, China wins on size. USA wins on experience. The sky is where modern wars are often decided, and this is where the US holds one of its biggest advantages. The US Air Force operates roughly 3,700 combat aircraft, including the most advanced stealth jets in the world, the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. These are what we call 5th-generation fighters, stealth, sensors, and software all integrated together. The US has over 750 of these in service. China has been catching up fast. The J-20 Chengdu is China's answer, a 5th-generation stealth fighter that entered service in 2017. They now have around 100 or more J-20s, with more rolling off the production line every year. But here's the gap: experience. US pilots train over 200 hours per year in the air. Chinese pilots historically train far fewer hours, though that gap is closing. And let's not forget, the US also operates B-Spirit stealth bombers, capable of striking anywhere on Earth without radar detection. China has no direct equivalent yet. Round 3, USA wins on air power, but China is closing the gap fast. The Navy is where this gets really interesting. By total ship count, China now has the largest Navy in the world, with roughly 370 warships. The US Navy has around 190, so China wins on numbers, right? Not so fast. The US Navy operates 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. China has 3, with more under construction, and aircraft carriers matter a lot. Each US carrier is essentially a floating Air Force base, capable of projecting power anywhere on the planet. It carries 70 to 80 aircraft, has a crew of over 5,000, and is protected by an entire carrier strike group, destroyers, submarines, supply ships. On submarines, the US operates 68 submarines, 18 of which are nuclear-armed ballistic missile submarines and 50 are nuclear-powered attack submarines. These are some of the most powerful weapons ever built. China operates around 60 submarines, but the quality and stealth capability of US submarines is considered significantly superior. One area where China is investing heavily is in anti-ship missiles. The DF-1D, called the Carrier Killer, is specifically designed to destroy US aircraft carriers. This is China's way of countering American naval dominance without needing to build equal numbers of carriers. Round 4. USA wins on naval quality and power projection. China wins on ship count. This is the category where the US leads by the largest margin. The United States has approximately 5,550 nuclear warheads. China has around 500, and it's rapidly expanding. The U.S. Defense Department estimated in 2023 that China could have 1,500 warheads by 2035. But here's the thing about nuclear weapons. They're not a weapon you actually use. They're a deterrent. Once you have enough to destroy every major city on Earth multiple times, which both countries do, adding more doesn't actually give you more power on the battlefield. What matters more is delivery systems. Can your missiles get through the other side's defenses? China has been developing the DF-1, an ICBM capable of carrying multiple warheads and reaching anywhere in the U.S. in 30 minutes. The U.S. is also modernizing its nuclear triad, land-based missiles, submarines, and bombers. Round 5. USA wins on nuclear stockpile. Both sides have mutually assured destruction capability. Modern warfare isn't just about guns and ships anymore. It's about satellites, cyber attacks, AI, and hypersonic missiles. In hypersonic weapons, missiles that travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound. China is actually ahead. The DF-17 hypersonic glide vehicle has already been deployed. The US is still testing its equivalents. This is one area where China has genuinely surprised Western military analysts in cyber warfare. Both nations are considered Tier 1 powers. The US has the NSA and US Cyber Command. China has Unit 61,398 and the PLA Strategic Support Force. Both sides have the capability to cripple each other's power grids, financial systems, and military communications in space. The US created the Space Force in 2019. China has its own military space program under the PLA Strategic Support Force. Both are developing anti-satellite weapons. Whoever controls satellites controls GPS, and GPS controls modern warfare. In artificial intelligence for military use, the US and China are considered roughly equal, and both are investing tens of billions. The pull ahead. Round 6. China leads on hypersonics. USA leads on cyber and space for now. One final factor that's often overlooked: global reach. The United States has military bases or installations in over 80 countries, more than 750 bases worldwide. This means U.S. forces can be deployed almost anywhere on Earth within hours. U.S. aircraft carriers patrol the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Persian Gulf simultaneously. China has one confirmed overseas military base in Djibouti, on the Horn of Africa. It has naval access agreements with several other countries, but its ability to project military power outside of Asia is still very limited. In the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea, China's backyard, the balance of power looks very different. China has an overwhelming advantage close to home. That's why military analysts talk about anti-access area denial. China is designed to make it extremely costly for the U.S. to operate in that region. Round 7. USA wins on global reach. China wins in its own backyard. So, who has the more powerful military? On paper, the United States is still the world's dominant military power by budget, by technology, by global reach, by nuclear stockpile, by air power quality, and by combat experience. But here's the honest truth. China is closing the gap faster than at any point in history. In 1990, China's military was decades behind. Today, in certain categories, hypersonic missiles, naval ship count, manpower, it has either caught up or pulled ahead. The real question isn't who wins in a global war, because that scenario has no winner. The real question is, which country will still hold the edge 10 years from now? If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe. We publish new US versus China comparisons every week. And drop your answer in the comments. Which country do you think has the military advantage? The USA or China? Let's hear it.